This is a Dragon's Dogma 2 challenge run where I am legally forbidden from attacking, and only my war criminal of a pawn, Nasty Ethan, is allowed to deal damage. To complete this run, Ethan must solo every single boss and mini-boss in the game. The dragon, his problem. The Dolahan, his problem. The Purginers, still his problem. As for me, I can only heal, buff and provide moral support. I am the designated driver of this trip, but I'm not allowed to touch the wheel. This playthrough had me laughing, rage shaking, but it was also one of the most ridiculous, chaotic and beautiful things I've ever experienced in Dragon's Dogma 2. Will Nasty Ethan survive until the end? And what will be left of us if he does? Grab a snack, grab a drink, this one's gonna be a long ride. Throw your expectations off a ledge and come with us. Please enjoy. We sure did. For starting vocations, I picked Mage Arisen for heals and buffs and made Ethan a fighter because someone's gotta die for content. Later I might switch to Mage Trickster Warfarer, but Ethan stays fighter forever. It's canon, out of the question. I moved some rocks and ran from the excavation site, eventually stumbling into the first encampment. It was a pivotal moment in the sacred scriptures of this playthrough because this is where we summon the true hero of our story. Savan made Sald in his father's image. Brother, however, shaped Ethan in his own image, a stronger, buffer, and more fighty version of himself. Hi Ethan. We look identical. We helped Akado with the Harpy infestation, grabbed our first skills and headed off to Melv, helped the girl, robbed literally everyone else, and continued on to the capital like morally flexible legends we are. We killed a Cyclops on the way, but it doesn't count because we had a whole support group, so Ethan's arc hasn't begun yet. Let's talk about the mission. We need to kill 25 monsters total. 21 giant health bar monsters, 3 mini bosses, and 1 secret horror I won't reveal just yet, but trust me, you will know when you see it and you'll agree. So we reached Vernworth and planning began. Are we doing every single quest? Absolutely not. Only the ones that help us kill monsters, make money or advance the plot. Monster culling sounded perfect. 3 hotspots: Travel Mines, Eastern Forest and Half Village. We bought Ethan some gear, stole Marcher's set for brother because and moved into Mildred's crusty squat house. Next day, first real Cyclops fight, just me and Ethan. The strategy was pop a Palladium so I don't die in 2 seconds, fire boon on Ethan to boost his damage, drop Anodyne near the Cyclops because Ethan was at all times actively dying. The fight was uninspired. We were still woefully underpowered and I found myself reviving Ethan no fewer than a dozen times. Alright, fine, I'm being dramatic. It wasn't that dreadful. We wrapped it up in about 15 minutes, which in this playthrough practically qualifies as a speedrun. Come on Ethan, people are watching, the cringe is infinite. Yes, good job. Naturally, we rewarded ourselves in the only way 2 blood-stained mustachioed adventurers know how, by roasting the Cyclops again, this time literally. 1 down, 24 more to go. Next we cleared Travel Mines and set off to help some soldiers in the Eastern Forest. On the way, a Griffin attacked us. We were not ready, so we ran full-on cartoon dust trail escape. But, silver lining, we killed another Cyclops. This one went down faster, cleaner, less resurrection involved. We were getting stronger. Still a disaster duo, but a deadlier disaster duo. Then came Half Village. We got jumped by Saurians. You gotta go for the tail, and I was worried, but Ethan actually pulled through, and I was so proud of him. Come on Ethan, give him hell. Ethan, you're such... Wow! What an absolute unit you are! Then we, of course, saved Wheelchair Larry, who couldn't be bothered to take 3 steps. Alright, now, Hav's got this rare merchant, Ines. She shows up like when she feels like it. She sells cool capes and cool rings. This one caught our eye. Ring of Insomnolence. It gives you sleep immunity. Super useful in Vernworth, the Harpy country. Price tag was too steep. 20,000 gold, and we were sitting on a crusty pile of 10k in pocket lint. We don't need this kind of money at this stage of the run anyway. We bought it, sold half our haul, and left half broke but stylish and sleep deprived. It was time to go back to the squat house and rest. Ah shit, it's been a week already. We don't need this kind of money at this stage of the run anyway. Moments later, an ogre attacked Vernworth. A big moment, tragically interrupted by everyone.
Oh, 'tis you!
What is going on? By the time the awkward meetup ended, the ogre vanished. Ethan was gone too. And where was he, you might ask? Locked inside our squat house for some reason. I stood outside banging on the door like a desperate fool, while Ethan slowly paced around the house like a ghost with unfinished business. Mildred, I'll get you the money, just please release my boy. She just stood there in silence like a mannequin. Later that night we got back to business, running Captain Brunt's errands and doing various small-time activities to make some gold. For example, delivering a very important, very plot-relevant letter to Mighty Melv. It was smooth sailing until the ogre showed up. Again, probably the same one from earlier. This led to the most ordinary Dragon's Dogma 2 moment ever. Everything was going relatively fine until Ethan decided it was time for some creativity. He broke formation, took a bold path. Oh no, don't leave me with them, Ethan. What? Are you kidding me? Oh no. To solve the wound, the ogre came back out of pure spite. I was done, but you know, Dogma wasn't. So I ran up the road, bandits, ran down the road, hobgoblins. I was stuck in the middle, Griffin overhead and an ogre spamming drop kicks and moshing. The only path left was that tiny little bridge, and just when I thought I had space to breathe, but of course, wolves hunt in packs Arisen. Though there are ways to get rid of wolves in Dragon's Dogma 2, and I'm not talking about dropping meat on the ground. We regrouped and finally reached the legendary stronghold of Mighty Melv, just in time for it to be ravaged by an STD dragon.
Disgusting!
Naturally, I sprinted towards the ballista. Instinct, really. But then I remembered I'm not allowed to deal damage and ballista is deal damage. So I had to climb back down and watch Ethan do his best while a literal infection dragon made everyone crispy. The dust settled and we unlocked new skills. High Palladium, finally. And also Argentonic for even more heals. It was time for some advanced planning, like a real tactician. The plan was to grab the Portcrystal from the Griffin's nest in Misty Marshes, take it to the Sphinx and turn that one baby crystal into 3 to multiply our fast travel powers. We got to the nest, grabbed the Portcrystal, no drama. Did we fight the Griffin? No, too early. That bird gets to live for now. You know what doesn't get to live though? Our first ogre.
Prepare yourself!
We were headed to the ancient battleground and boom, ogre time. No interruptions this time, no wandering pawns, just me, Ethan, and a big, stinky meat man.
I ought to have braced for that. Quite the view from up here. Shall we see how high I
Beautiful.
can scale?
A clean victory. This one's for you, Ethan. 2 big monsters down, 23 more to go. Our kill list grows. Then we ran into Oscar. We helped him out, got the key, the one that opens the treasure vault in Vernworth. With the good shield and enough coin to cover our rent expenses, it was time to meet our riddling wife, the Sphinx. On the way, we Skyrim ragdolled a poor Cyclops and noped past a golem because we're ambitious, not suicidal. At the Sphinx, we solved a few riddles and successfully converted one Portcrystal into 3. The run is finally starting to take shape. We have infrastructure now. One goes here, the Medusa's Nest, one over here, Volcanic Island, and one over here, Hot Springs. More on that later. At the checkpoint rest town, we picked up Almace, a magic-infused sword that absolutely slaps in the early game. It gave Ethan's swings a frosty edge and freed up a skill slot on my end. As a side note, the sleep immunity ring was worth it, okay? Then back to Vernworth, where we stole the good shield and 20k worth of rent money, quiet as a shadow. Easy pickings. After that, we stole a few more sensitive documents for Captain Brunt, sealed it with a kiss. Yes, and no, it doesn't get better than this. Then headed out to the nameless village to push the story forward just a little. On our way there, we saw a majestic Minotaur.
Look at this. What a beauty.
And it didn't stand a chance. Ethan spent most of the fight clinging to its back like an angry backpack. Almace pulled its weight, worth every groschen. The fight was fast, chaotic, and genuinely fun. Ooh, the archery! 1 more down, 22 more to go. We are making progress. So we passed the thieves test, then robbed the thieves because there's no such thing as honor among thieves. It was time to travel eastward, into the lion's den, into danger and immigration fraud. There are 3 ways to sneak into Battahl early. Through this cave, risky. Through this mountain pass we lovingly call the Scotland, even riskier. The 3rd way is also the fastest. Just through the front gates via the fancy cart.
I'll have to check your permit. Leave this place at once.
Naturally, we spent several in-game days loitering like suspicious tourists, waiting for our luxury illegal entry ride. I hopped in as soon as it showed up. Alright, Ethan, that's it. We're illegals now. living the Battahl dream. Now, you can wait politely for the cart to carry you through, or you can hop out early, get arrested and skip the whole ride. We chose prison speedrun, got tossed straight into Battahl jail, and oh look, I just happened to have the key. Captain Brunt gave it to me for a quest I had no intention of completing. Thanks Brunt, you're complicit now. We broke out, and just like that, we were in. New land, new loot, new monsters, and new possibilities. The only problem, we were level 20, and Ethan, bless his heart, is the only one allowed to hurt things, so we took it slow. This was the first thing we saw. Luckily, it wasn't after us, and we weren't after it. Mutual respect. We decided to start small and practice on grandmas, just to dip our toes into Battahl's chaotic waters. Yes, give the granny a good beating, mate. We were celebrating when suddenly a golem rose. Most monsters in Dragon's Dogma 2 are at least courteous enough to bleed when you hit them. Not golems. Golems have cores, the only things that take damage, and on top of that, one of them is nestled elegantly on its toe. Now try explaining that to a pawn with zero spatial awareness. I was genuinely curious to see how Ethan's AI would handle something so surgically specific. To my surprise, Ethan nailed it. Core after core after core. We were feeling unstoppable until a Griffin showed up. Of course it did. When a golem gets enraged and starts glowing red, there's a neat little trick. You can push or pull its leg to make it lose its head. Literally, it just pops off. I did exactly that, then dragged the head into the bushes and hid it for the cops to find. We finished the fight and Griffin dipped because it was scared. Surviving all that made one thing clear. We are ready. Soon it will be Griffin hunting time. Another beast down, 21 left to go. We pressed on and unlocked the most questionable vocation in Dragon's Dogma 2, the Trickster. My total playtime with it since launch is definitely shorter than this video, but we'll give it a proper spin later. It's the perfect fit for this run. Honestly, it feels like it was made for it. It was time to play Portcrystals. First destination, Medusa's lair. On the way there, we ran into a Gom, our first mini-boss. These things are absolutely demonic. Even with a full party, I hate them. Quick pit stop for a snack break, then Ethan soloed a Skeleton Lord, who is, by the way, way more chaotic than expected. I was just standing in the corner, giving Ethan my best emotional support. 2 more down, 19 more to go. We continued on to the Medusa's lair and got jumped by a Griffin again, but this time it was different. You know, something had shifted. The bird wasn't hunting us anymore, it feared us. It took a well-deserved beating and flew away, and we didn't follow, not yet. We had a bigger fish to catch, but don't you worry, bird, your time will come soon. First Portcrystal placed. Ethan came in wielding the Daughter of the Evening Shield, which allegedly turns Medusa into stone if timed right. We kicked off the fight, feeling confident, and then something happened. Medusa got stuck, just, you know, froze, bugged out. I've never seen it before, but it won't be the last time either. You keep going, I'm gonna go grab coffee. We took the chance, we took the opportunity, even though it felt slightly illegal. We also took sick photos. This one's for our power metal band, Stone Cold Wife. 10 out of 10 with cheese again. Ethan never used the shield, or maybe it just doesn't work for pawns. Either way, Medusa down, 18 monsters left. Next up, the Volcanic Island. We go there for the goods. Top tier fighter weapons and dwarven smithing. It's not just important, it's mandatory. To get there, we have to go through Drabnir's Grotto, a nasty, twisted maze of horrors filled with arguably the worst species of goblins ever, knackers. That's our next destination. Yeah, take a bath, you stinker. And that was an armored Cyclops, by the way. 17 more to go. Right outside the grotto, we met Hillary, a genuine sweetheart who desperately wanted to make it to the other side, but the journey was too much for her alone, so we took her with us. The journey with her and Ethan was like wrangling 2 children in a mall, though we were making progress until Hillary decided to shank us for no reason. Ethan, bless him, responded immediately, used a wake stone to revive her, tried to move on like nothing happened, but she just poofed. What? Ethan, wait, we lost Hillary. This wasn't my first time trying to help Hillary reach the other side, mostly in hopes of unlocking a new line of dialogue or something small like that, but every single time something happens to her. Maybe that is her story arc. Back to the OG duo. Later we found the Exalted for Ethan, a mace with holy damage. Incredible against skeletons, rocky boys, liches and wights. Not the weapon we were hunting for, but definitely a win. Oh, the Volcanic Island. Such a beautiful place. Ethan, look! On the other side we met Gustafa, helped him out, placed a Portcrystal next to his house, and carried on to the Volcanic Island encampment. Right before we could reach it and place the final crystal, a Gore Minotaur appeared. Fighter pawns usually dominate Minotaurs. They're excellent at parrying those charge attacks, dropping them flat for some free hits. Ethan was no exception, he held his own, but even so I caught a set of horns to the face and had to burn my last wake stone, so this had to count. Yeah, bringing the fight to the beach wasn't a good shout. Oh, go for it, go for it! Ooh, yes! 16 monsters left. On our last legs we limped into the encampment, placed the final Portcrystal by the hot springs, and instantly fairy stoned back with one goal in mind. Let's go take a bath. With that, Gustafa became our personal blacksmith. Dwarven smithing is GOAT. It boosts knockdown power and knockdown resistance, just what we needed. Now it was time to start cleaning up. First, a Chimera and a Wight in Vermont. Ethan had the Exalted, I had Solemnity, a silent spell to stop spellcasters mid-abracadabra. They both hang out behind the ultramarine waterfall. There, everything went to hell instantly. Poison lizards, oozes, hobgoblins, everything spawns there at this stage of the game. All advanced variants of trash mobs. Asps, man, were especially nasty, and I didn't bring Celery, the anti-status effect spell, so Ethan fell. I ran. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'll be back, I promise. We regrouped and came back stronger. Had heals, had Celery, had Vengeance. It was time to silence the goat head, literally. Ethan was locked on the leg, though. Absolutely obsessed. Took us a while, but eventually we downed it. Smackaroo! Good job, mate. Turns out it was a Gore Chimera, an accidental flex. We had to find a regular Chimera somewhere too. Hopefully there are still some around. One more down, 15 more to go. Ethan then melted the Wight. Holy weapon plus Solemnity was just unfair for the Wight. 14 left. Not a single death, Ethan. You've grown so strong. Don't worry, we'll cut that out. Back in Battahl, we finally unlocked the Dragonforged, the ultimate gear upgrade guy. He's the end of the line, the final touch. Most importantly, he makes things lighter. Dwarven smithing might make your gear shine, but it also makes it heavier than crowbar. Whoever gets this reference. Anyways, the Dragonforged, he's the cherry on top. We made a quick stop to say hi to my cat wife, Minella. She's an absolute sweetheart. It's a shame she doesn't have a bigger role in the tangled mess that is the second half of the story. Feels like a real missed opportunity. Bye, Manila. We'll never see each other again. Bye. On our way out, we saw a Griffin. No more mercy. We latched onto it and took the fight straight to the nest. My name's Brother. This is Jackass. If you're still watching this, now's the great time to subscribe. Before day and night, lantern oil ran out, but we danced on the Griffin's back until it finally dropped. 13 monsters to go. At that time, I decided to give Trickster a spin, but I wasn't emotionally prepared to give up my precious buffs and heals. So the plan? Unlock Warfarer. To unlock it, we needed 3 newt lickers. I had 1, and like any other responsible adult who needed 2 more, I went straight to the checkpoint rest town to commit some light forgery.
Here you are, sir. Use it well.
Oh, we will. Now, with 3 hobo juice wines in hand, we flew straight to the Volcanic Island to visit everyone's favorite fermented egg connoisseur. Here you go, rotten egg man.
That's kind of you.
Now, teach us what you know. This was the last piece of the puzzle, build-wise. I could finally start farting out ghostly clouds of confusion and still hold on to everything that made being a mage so important for this run. Anyway, onward to Grand Soren, where we picked up the Godsbane sword, a weapon so edgy it listens to Midwest emo. Brought it to Ambrosius, the crazy eyes. The sword was broken, not emotionally like me, actually broken. To fix it, we needed crystallized dragon's blood. Well, good, I know a guy. This was the hardest part, not because the Drake was strong, but because it took 40 minutes, real time, 4-0, IRL. I could have cooked an entire Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC in that time. As a handicapped mage, all I could do was run in circles, spam high solemnity and whisper encouragement. Fun mechanic moment. When a Drake casts Meteor on, it stands up like it's giving a speech. Solemnity interrupts the cast, but doesn't knock the Drake down. But if it casts while airborne though, Solemnity slaps it back to earth and leaves leaves the heart exposed. Ethan's response to this juicy opportunity?
Loathsome heart is in sight. Strike well.
What the hell happened to your precision, man? By the time we finished, it was dark. But we did it. We got the Worm Life Crystal and another monster down. A real one. 12 more to go. Next up, Ibrahim's scrap shop. I wanted to duplicate the crystals because I'm very greedy and paranoid. But then I saw the price. Oh, I don't have enough. How much is it again? Oh. Back to the Volcanic Island, this time for one of the best weapons in the game for fighters, Molten Fury. In the right hands, this thing doesn't hit, it rearranges molecules. When fully upgraded Dwarven style, it becomes a god-slaying slab of pure knockdown energy. But of course, among other mats, we needed Electrum to upgrade it. Luckily, a nearby Purple Golem had what we needed. I originally thought that golems would be the worst part of this playthrough, but to my surprise, we folded the purple one like cheap origami. Even the bandits and another Griffin tried to throw hands, but no, we were on the roll. Got our Electrum, checked the purple lad off the list, 11 to go. We strutted back to Gustafa and upgraded Molten Fury. Now this thing hits like divine judgment. Naturally, the next test of Ethan's new bonk stick, the Sphinx. Before the fight, I made a backup save because Sphinx is tricky. You're supposed to not hit her human parts because if you give her a single tap on the noggin, she immediately blasts off. Ethan, as expected, bonked her right on the head over and over again. We even got her down to 0 HP once, but she still flew away because Ethan's final attack tickled her temple a bit. I tried everything I could think of, and by that I mean unequipping Ethan's Cloud Ward Slash. I thought it was the problem, but it didn't work. I was kinda ready to quit, but then on the 11th attempt, out of sheer cosmic accident, I forgot to remove the Cloud Ward Slash, and that's what finished her off. The very move I thought was causing the issue. Go figure. Sphinx down, 10 monsters to go. Endgame was so close I could hear the final cutscene music swelling. We zipped over to that Portcrystal near Medusa. Our next target was the Infection Action, also known as the Lesser Dragon. On the way up, we bulldozed a Grim Ogre, finally crossed him off the list, and met Sigurd, the anime Mystic Spear bro. He tried to join the fight, but no. This is a challenge run, Sigurd. We don't need help. Okay, we kinda did. This was the moment when I really felt the soul-crushing fatigue of this whole run. This kind of challenge run wears on you, not because it's hard, but because success sometimes is out of your control. You can't give your pawn direct commands, so you just watch as they miss every weak spot, like they're being paid not to win. Ethan, who's paying you not to win? It's so weird because with the golem, Ethan was surgical. Here, he was flailing like a toddler. All I could do was run in circles, cast magic shields, patch him up, and wave my farty incense stick around. This fight was shorter than the Drake one, but at least 10 times harder and 20 times more rage-inducing. After the fight, I even took a break, a few days, but the finisher was great though. Oh shit, you guys traded. What a trade. Tired, Ethan? I know, mate. I know. Me too. 8 more to go. After that, we brought the sword back to Crazy Eyes and put the main quest back in motion. Waited for the Colossus to trip and took one last nap at the end. Now, remember that secret monster I said I'd reveal at the beginning? This one is for every single Arisen watching. I know it's a challenge run and I'm not supposed to do this, but for Fiska, I'm making an exception. Who's a feckless dollar now? 7 more to go. Before Greg, one last thing. Wargs. There were 3 wargs fighting a Volcanic Island Drake, so we rushed in, caused chaos, and I'm pretty sure we got at least 6 monsters to go. This is it, Ethan. No more jokes. We have to come prepared. We came prepared. We were strong and we were ready. You remember the Grigori fight in Dark Arisen? Iconic and cinematic. The dragon in Dragon's Dogma 2 deserved better, so I decided to give him the respect Capcom didn't. He's the final boss now, in my story, in my world, in this challenge run. So here comes the time skip.
Pitiable Arisen.
Why do you pursue me, Arisen?
The Unmoored world, a place where drug dealers take their kids and food goes to ferment. But the worst part, Ethan was gone. Naturally, the first thing I did was get him back. Then we quickly popped over to see everyone's favorite blacksmith / philosopher, grabbed some final gear, enhanced Ethan's weapon and shield to bonk the very gods into next week tier, and I treated myself to the sovereign set because if I'm going to suffer, I'm going to suffer in style. Time to review our monster kill list. Next on the menu the Chimera. Thankfully the one near Sacred Harbor hadn't upgraded into a Gore Chimera. We went there and gave it a swift curb stomp. 5 more to go. Then we wandered back to try our first Purgina, which sounds like a medieval laxative but is actually a giant mutant worm. It was another classic patience test, but not as bad as the STD dragon from earlier. It has blisters everywhere. Destroy one batch, another opens up. 1000 palladiums and 12 metric tons of heals later, we bagged it. The path to Purgina number 2, called the Brine Dragon, was blocked by a lich. As usual, I waited for him to start spellcasting so I could pop him out of it with high solemnity. Ethan took it from there. Our teamwork made the lich scream in agony. 3 more to go. Off to a good start, Ethan, I said, full of hope and naive optimism. The second Purgina fight, trickier than the worm, thanks to this crazy attack that just strips magic shields immediately and does a zillion damage. I just had to cast shields on loop like that, overlapping them like some medieval VPNs, and then the fatigue hit again. Everything is going on at the same time. I don't remember the tornadoes, the lightning. I got struck by. It wasn't as soul crushing as the lesser dragon, but man, it dragged on. We barely made it. 2 more to go. Then came the final big challenge, Dollar Hand. This boss was the last thing I defeated during my original solo Ethan run. It felt poetic to make him the finale of the Endgame too, and we didn't find him. He found us, just completely bagged us, turned us into ground beef. Oh no, not like that. We lost a bunch of progress, including our gear. For a moment, I truly considered just putting the controller down for another couple of days. No, we're so close. I decided to give it one last go. We marched up there with whatever equipment we had on, like held together with duct tape. Dullahans are nasty, Ethan, but not as nasty as you.
Strike hard enough. We might not have to do this twice. Since those ominous red clouds appeared in the sky, the monsters roaming the land have grown in strength.
It was over. We had conquered Vermont, and we had conquered Battahl, and we had conquered our own sanity and possibly the bounds of what a challenge run should be. All that's left now is to travel back in time. One last memory, one last moment, one last boss. 24 down, 1 more to go. The dragon fixed us with his piercing gaze, ancient, knowing, almost mournful. Grigori, if that's even your name in this cycle, I'm sorry. Truly, you deserved more than being pulled from the kiln, half-fired, rushed into this world to meet a fiscal deadline. Yes, this battle lacks the weight, the gravitas, the haunting majesty of our clash in Dark Arisen, and yet you are still special to me. This time, there will be no ballistas, no elite squad of seasoned killers at my side, just me and Nasty Ethan. But know this, I will return, across countless cycles, wearing different faces, bearing different names, flanked by pawns, both brave and bizarre. Sometimes I'll strike you down in a single blow, other times I'll wait, 5 business days perhaps, for you to stop circling the skies and meet me on the earth. One day I may even come back as a trickster, just to honor you, but for now, it's time to rest, old friend. The run was over, but let me say a couple of things before we part ways. First of all, thank you. If you've made it this far into the video, bless your heart and your patience. This was my longest, most ambitious project to date. The planning, the scripting, I'm completely and utterly emotionally drained. But through all that, I learned a ton about writing, editing, pacing, and that makes me proud. This video makes me so proud. As for the challenge itself, it wasn't hard in the traditional sense. It did not require lightning reflexes or insane game sense. What it required was patience, spiritual stamina, and the ability to let go of control, the hardest thing for me. It was watching your weird digital best friend who you've somehow grown attached to defy every odd and win anyway. And I think that's what made it beautiful. The success wasn't mine, it was ours. Now, credit where it's due. First, CJ from Bisquit Sticks. His video, Can Dragon's Dogma 2 Beat Itself, is what inspired this video. Smart and funny and frankly a better version of what I tried here. Go give it a watch. Second, Infinite Cringe, a huge creative inspiration to me. I'm genuinely glad you're back. You're ridiculously talented. You've got a lifelong viewer here. Anyway, enough with the disgusting sentimentality. Yuck. Would I recommend this run to everyone? No, absolutely not. If you haven't done any Dragon's Dogma 2 challenges yet, start with a solo run. Will I do this again? Maybe. If the DLC ever comes out and I'm feeling particularly unhinged, I'll do it live on stream. I made this video because I love Dragon's Dogma. I love its clank, its heart, and weird ambition. It's flawed, but it dares to be something different, and I want to help keep that alive, even if it's just in this dusty corner of YouTube. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, you know the drill, or don't, I can't control anything anymore.